Wildlife trafficking. CNN Wire headline news: 7 arrested in wildlife trafficking of 3,700 flying squirrels. How many would be concerned about this news article? Sadly, most people would never even notice this article from the rural area of Marion County, Florida. Let's face it, most humans would not care about the plight and suffering of hundreds of small brown rodents, removed from their families and environment for the pleasure of those looking to boast about owning an exotic pet. So why is it important? Well, to quote Deputy Secretary Daniel Foote with the United States Department of State Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, who state that these wildlife trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar criminal enterprise which poses a serious threat to national security and economic stability for all the countries involved. So why did I choose this topic? Well, for the last 10 years, I've managed project development and environmental studies for the state of Florida, which are studies that analyze the engineering concepts, cultural and environmental impacts to a proposed corridor improvement or a new roadway. If any of the proposed concepts impact our natural or cultural resources, then we develop and implement a mitigation plan that minimizes those impacts. Some of our partners that we work with are U.S. Fish and Wildlife, Natural Marine Fishery, and all of our tribal partners. So why is this important? As you can see by the numbers in the next few slides, we are hunting our animal kingdom by senselessly killing and trafficking our wildlife. And though some may argue that these activities help keep animal population under control, I would have to disagree, since these legal activities push these animals to extinction. The African elephant has decreased by 3% in the last 7 years. These elephants are poached just so people can own a trophy or an ivory figurine. In 2011, more than 340 rhinos were killed in South Africa. That's more than 210 according to World Life Fund. The black rhino is officially on the extinction list. So for what reason? Some say that it's for medicinal value, but in a world full of technology, do we really need to murder animals for their medicinal values? Some say it's possible just to remove the horn of the animal without killing it. However, the horn is the rhino's defense tool. How can it survive in the wild without protection? Another example is the African giraffe. It's facing a silent extinction due to illegal poaching, which has caused the population to decrease by 40%, which is fewer than 80,000 giraffes in total in the last 15 years. And for what reason? A trophy? Or its beautiful skin on your purse? Is that a valid reason to murder these beautiful animals? Which is why my thesis is to reduce the negative effects of extinction that our wildlife is facing. We need to use global collaboration efforts to address illegal trafficking through stricter law enforcement, animal right awareness, and education to reduce the depletion of our wildlife species. So what can we do? Enforcement. The tighter law enforcement and border control agreements are crucial to reducing this criminal activity that undermines the rules of law. We need to work with international and national partners to tighten our borders. Along with these measures, we need to educate our law enforcement staff worldwide in a regional collaborative effort in areas of law, investigation, prosecution of these criminal activities to end the wildlife trafficking. So what else can we do? Animal right awareness. The impact to the biodiversity caused by wildlife trafficking and the sustainability of some of the well-documented issues. However, few understand the suffering and consequent damage suffered by wildlife who are either hurt or maimed by poachers. These animals are our life force with feelings just like us. These animals are chained, stuffed into small cages, and where they can't even move in these local markets, where they're sold as pet or for medicinal purposes to be murdered. And you only have to look into their eyes to see the dejection, the anger, the sorrow, the despair is in their soul. Can you see it in his face right now in that picture? We need to stop the abuse of our wildlife. And why should we care? We need to be aware that these animals bought and sold as pets come with a risk, as in the case of the Colombian hippos who were transported from Africa to Colombia to a private zoo of Pablo Escobar. These animals escaped, and due to their cute appearance, they bring a sense of false security to the local community that were now using them for economic tourism. Veterinary Carlos Alterama states that they're cute, they're chubby, ridiculously cute, and very tender looking. However, that is the complete opposite. They have the potential of killing or hurting us. They also bring the potential for disease, as such as Salmonella or typhus in some of the cases. What more can we do? Education. Biologist Rosnick Nershnat, founder of Profauna, a non-government organization he established in 1994 to counter the illegal trafficking of wildlife using a twofold approach: activism and education. He holds ecological camps for Indonesian children to teach them about the impacts to the environment and of trafficking of wildlife. He states that by educating them environmental awareness and respect for animals, we invest in the next generation. Mr. Nourish is doing his part in saving our animal kingdom. So why should we care? Our future generations deserve to know the beauty of diversity that our wildlife bring to our life. Our planet is a symbiotic ecosystem where all lives matter. We need to fight to protect our wildlife by experiencing this ecosystem in all its glory for future generations to come. Let us stop the cruel slaughter of trafficking in wildlife by the insatiable greed of organizations, by bringing awareness to the pain and suffering of the wildlife, and by educating ourselves on issues of wildlife trafficking. Thank you.